In this program, specifically Part 3 of the historical lie about the Mongol invasion of Iran, we will address a series of arguments, questions, and doubts for which there are no convincing answers. These questions highlight significant flaws in the completely false legend of the imaginary invasion by Genghis Khan. Dear friends, we are glad to have you with us. We created these programs to raise your awareness, so please support us by subscribing, liking, and commenting, so we can produce better programs for you. Thank you. Now let's get to the main topic. Mongolian horses are known as one of the oldest horse breeds in the world. These horses are famous for their short stature, extraordinary endurance, and adaptation to the harsh climatic conditions of Mongolia. The Mongolian horse, also known as taki, is a rare species of wild horse that is specifically developed in the geographical and climatic conditions of cold and dry Mongolia and has managed to survive. Short stature of Mongolian horses. Mongolian horses, standing between 125 to 140 centimeters tall, are shorter compared to other domestic horse breeds in the world. This short stature has developed due to natural adaptation to the harsh environment of Mongolia. In the vast and cold steppes of Mongolia, horses needed more agility and endurance than other horse breeds. This trait helps them conserve energy to maintain body temperature when facing strong winds and extreme cold. Specific conditions of Mongolia. Mongolia, with its long, cold winters, relatively hot and dry summers, and endless plains, has become one of the most challenging regions for animal life. In this environment, Mongolian horses possess unique survival abilities. They can survive with minimal food resources in very harsh conditions. Their main diet consists of drought-resistant plants, and their bodies have evolved to function with limited energy. Inadaptability outside cold and dry climate. Due to their specialized biological traits, Mongolian horses struggle to survive in other climates, especially in warm and humid areas. One of the main reasons for this is their physical adaptation to Mongolia's climate. Their thick skin and long hair, which act as insulation against the cold in Mongolia, become a factor in overheating and excessive sweating in warm regions. Moreover, the diet they are accustomed to is not easily found in many other regions. For example, they are highly adapted to the native Mongolian grasslands, and the absence of these plants can lead to malnutrition and diseases related to improper diet. Weak immune system outside their natural habitat. Another reason for the mortality of Mongolian horses outside of Mongolia is the weakness of their immune system against diseases in other regions. Due to living in a specific climate and being isolated from other horse breeds and domestic animals, Mongolian horses lack sufficient immunity to common diseases in other areas. Transferring these horses to regions with different climatic conditions and the presence of viruses and bacteria unfamiliar to their bodies can lead to immune weakness and susceptibility to various diseases. Cultural and historical role of horses in Mongolia. Mongolian horses are not only biologically unique, but they also play a significant role in the history and culture of this country. From ancient times to today, Mongols have used these horses for transportation, warfare, and herding. Even during the time of Genghis Khan's empire, these horses were considered one of the key factors in the Mongols' military victories. Their ability to travel long distances with minimal need for food and water allowed the Mongol army to quickly reach their targets and surprise the enemy. Conclusion. In conclusion, due to their specific body structure and adaptation to the Mongolian environment, Mongolian horses can only continue to live in the cold and dry climatic conditions of this region. Their inability to adapt to other climates due to reasons such as diet, immune system, and physiological traits makes it difficult to transfer them outside of Mongolia. and they rarely survive in warm and humid environments. Despite their limitations, the Mongolian horse remains an important cultural and historical symbol of the country. The question that arises here is why, despite the great and massive invasion of the Mongols into Iran, is there no grave of any Mongol soldier in Iran? Isn't it ridiculous to claim that all the soldiers killed in this vast war were Iranian? Setting aside the fact that Iranian soldiers, unlike the short-statured Mongol soldiers, were very tall and robust, let's also ignore that Mongolian horses were short and could not endure the climate of Iran. Even if they could endure, in comparison to the horses and soldiers of Iran, they would be like children trying to slap the Iranian soldiers. Given this information, isn't it ridiculous to say that the Mongol soldiers carried out such a widespread attack, shedding blood, killing, burning, and looting? Even if we put that aside, another question arises: how did the Mongol soldiers, with their short horses, cross mountains, valleys, and raging rivers, as well as navigate through fiercely hostile tribes in the Iranian plateau, without facing any resistance? And if they did encounter resistance, why did they not suffer any casualties? Another question that arises is how, according to history, did the Mongol soldiers spend months on horseback, fighting, eating, and drinking? Did they not need rest or sleep? Did they not need to relieve themselves? Did they not get wounded? Did they or their horses not sustain injuries or get killed? When we reach these questions, we find ourselves faced with supernatural beings who, like ghosts, left no trace behind, and this is quite laughable. Moreover, the question arises, why is there no Mongol weaponry present in the Iranian plateau from such a massive war? Why is there no Mongol war equipment, or even personal belongings of Mongols, or even a simple Mongol artifact left behind in the Iranian plateau? It is very surprising and unfortunate that, despite all these arguments, uncertainties, and logical evidence that prove the falsehood of the Mongol invasion of Iran, it is still presented as a historical fact in educational and scientific institutions and in history books, and is fed to the ignorant masses. I will keep my words brief. I have expressed what needed to be said in a limited manner. Now you yourself sit down and judge. Considering all these contradictions and arguments, is it possible that the alleged invasion of Iran by Genghis Khan is a reality?